very warm welcome to you. Many thanks for joining us on this week's edition of the program. We remain your source for all the latest happenings in the world of business. My name is Maggie Osebo. You're welcome. On our lineup this week, we join Faith and her guests on the CEO Rendezvous, Mr. Augustine Ebose, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Anchor Insurance Company Limited, where they discussed a wide range of issues affecting the insurance industry. Speaking during the interview, Mr. Ebose said that a situation where an insurance company cannot retain 60% of the risk taken as a result of inadequate capacity makes recapitalization of insurance companies sacrosanct at this time. Do take a listen.
What is the capacity? If you are going to reinsure, if you have 100% of a transaction, and you are insuring 70%, does that sound local content?
No,
it doesn't. When we are talking about reinsurance, we are talking about a little percentage above your, higher than your retention. So if you are taking 100%, and what all you have is about 30% retention, that doesn't sound well as pure. I'm an economist. That's my first course of study. Is that trade favorable? No. The trade is favorable when you have more advantage, or when you benefit more and you lose less.
On this edition also, we'll bring you highlights of the 2019 Center for Financial Journalism Bullion Lecture that took place recently at the Civic Center, Victoria Island, Lagos. The theme was leveraging the African Continental Free Trade Agreement for Nigeria's economic development. The guest speaker was Professor Benedict Orama, President, African Export-Import Bank, Cairo, Egypt. As always, topical issues were at the front burner of the lecture. Do take a listen.
The quickest means to promoting regional integration is to have an arrangement that constitutes the framework for breaking the structural barriers created by the colonial administrators.
Plus, of course, all the other extras we bring you each week on this program, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the lineup. Details in just a moment. Please stay with us.
Welcome to a new world of insurance. It will no longer be complex. No longer time-consuming, no longer impersonal. We are changing our customer service culture, the treatment of claims, the range of products that will protect your family and you, that will secure your business, with services you can trust, from people you can trust, from a brand trusted worldwide. Allianz Insurance, now in Nigeria.
A very warm welcome to you. It's a pleasure to have you join us on the CEO Rendezvous this week. Our guest on the Rendezvous this week is the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Anchor Insurance Company Limited, Mr. Augustine Ebose. He will be looking at Anchor Insurance poised for growth. Thank you so very much, sir, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you join us. Let me start by saying that there's been noticeable transformation in Anchor Insurance since you assumed office as Chief Executive Officer of the company. What would you say has informed some of these positive changes we are beginning to see in the company?
Yeah, thank you very much. First and foremost, I want to thank you very much for being very positive with Anchor in terms of your media reporting and some of the things we are doing here. What has helped us this far is that when we came in, we had to carry out different type of audit. The human capacity audit, which is a HRO. We have to carry out the ICT audit to find out where some of these things and some of our processes and underwriting processes as well. We found out that we had some shortcomings. Normally in an organization, such shortcomings are inevitable. So we looked at them, addressed them, then we put ourselves on the path of growth, and here we are.
Okay, does Anchor Insurance have a new strategy? Because we are, as I said, we're beginning to see positive trajectory in the company, in underwriting, in claims payments and all of that. But I just needed to ask this, is it that the company has adopted a new strategy in place that you are following?
Yes, we have done that, and also if you come to an environment, you have to look at, take a holistic approach to look at where you're coming from, where you want to be, and what can take you there. Then first thing you do is to sit down and audit yourself, audit the company, audit the environment. We found out that not that ANCO was not paying claim at the time, but these claims, no, the responses were not prompt enough. And we decided we need to change that tradition. Secondly, we need to also look at our processes. Like I said, like I told you about the ICT. We found out that our processes were slow. And some of the equipment that we had at the time were either not in existence or obsolete. So we changed them. And again, we need to have that new orientation about how to do businesses. Having been a marketer for many years in the insurance industry, I knew when you wear a shoe, you know where it pitches. So I understand exactly what marketing, what new image, new improvement as it is, will do for ANCO as a company. So we embark on that, and by the grace of God, that had lifted us, and we hope the best is yet to come.
So to what extent would you say at the moment that ANCO is deploying technology to drive its operations? Yes,
we've actually gone far. We've gone virtual now. And we have also improved our Microsoft 365, which we are currently adopt. Then we've also moved away from the normal wiring system. We move on to HD. We have also currently, as we speak to you, the company in UK that are carrying out our improving our ICT, they are still around. At the moment, we shut down our website because we need to improve on some of these things that we are doing. So it's still a continuous process. What we have done, we have used ICT to drive the Microsoft 365. Now we are on ERP. All our branches are now linked up to our network right here in the head office. So that is a bit, that's a way up the scale, different from what we've been doing here. So right now, if we are in Abuja, anything we are doing here, you get there immediately. Most of our documents we send by email. We send by the system, and we get the invoice immediately. And that has improved us. And we also make sure that we have a prompt response in all the emails of all our workers, our staff, sorry. Once you are working, anywhere you are, it prompts up in your system. Now, we also adopted the mobile response system. Anywhere you are, your email can be checked, you respond. If you don't respond, it will send a prompt message to you. Hello, Mr. John, you have not responded to your mail. Wow. It's been here for 2 minutes, for 3 hours. So as it stays, it continues to count for you. And that's exactly what we are doing. And the improvement has come, and the responses are going on. And again, we've also improved on our claims payment. Claims does not have to stay for too long. And we also improve on our reinsurance. So whatever the risk is, we're capable right now.
Okay, so moving ahead, you did talk about technology, and it's quite interesting, some of the things, the changes that you've put in place under your leadership. But I just want to ask, a lot of people have said that the insurance companies that want to play in the future must adopt technology or die or go out of business, basically. But what I want to ask is, ANCO still relying on the traditional distribution channels of insurance services? By that I mean, what percentage or what level of traditional distribution, like agents and brokers, that ANCO still gets business from, and what level is technology driving in terms of your retail products?
So yeah, that's a very good question. What we have done, let me start from our third party retail. What we have done now, we've eventually gone into partnership with Lagos State Government on VIS, Vehicle Inspection Services. So we now have, they are now on our network. We don't have to go to their office, or they don't have to come here to transact business with us. For everything they are doing, they can do right away in their office and be on our platform. That's number one. We've also done that with some banks, which of course they don't want us to mention their names. We've done some of these things, and the response has been very tremendous. Then more so, in terms of our claims processes, we are working so much on trying to see how we can use Drove to do on-spot assessment.
Is that possible?
A possibility. It's something, because if you need to play to make the difference, you need to play. You have to do things differently. I know it's not as simple as it is said, but it's something that is doable, and we are pushing to do that. We want to bring changes. We want to see that insurance is not done in a normal way. Insurance should be done like a business, not a normal professional. But a practitioner in the system has come, and that's what we're trying to do. More also, our underwriting processes is something that I found out when I took over here, that we were not paying so much attention. What we have done is to bring more human capacity improvement to the system, and that has separated claims and reinsurance from normal underwriting. The reinsurance and claims underwriting are not differently on their own. So some of these things we now try to have those assessments. And also we've recruited more agents in terms of our post-law survey, because I found out that the issue the company was having, that we don't do much of pre-law survey. So we have a lot of argument when there are claims, oh, this wasn't happening. But now all those pre-law surveys are documented. I didn't tell you they were not in existence, but they were not as robust as I thought. So we changed those. So if there's a claim in Asaba, for example, somebody is in Asaba who will go there immediately to assess on a spot assessment before the Drove issue comes up, and pictures are sent to us, and immediately we swing it to actions, and that has helped us expose a lot of invalid claims, and those that genuine claims, we end up paying them as quickly as possible.
Moving on, let's leave Anchor for a little bit and talk about what a lot of people will say is a trending issue right now in the insurance industry. Do you think, in your opinion, that recapitalization will change the fortunes of the insurance
Absolutely.
industry? Why do you say that?
Absolutely, it will change fortune. You don't expect someone who trade with ₦1 million to have the same result with someone trading with ₦100 million.
It depends on the size of the business.
It depends on the size of the business, but insurance, the kind of business we do in Nigeria, insurance in Nigeria is based on shareholders' fund. If I have more money, I do more business. For me, as managing director of Anchor, I won't speak for others. I will speak for this company. When I took over here, the first thing I told my board was that there was need for us to recapitalize.
Wow.
There was need for us to recapitalize because, one, if I have to take more businesses, I need more fund. If I have 1 billion, for example, for my business transactions, and I have a claim of 1 billion, what becomes of me? And the possibility of you taking 1 billion transaction is there because you have 1 billion. I know insurance business will not, all these transactions will not consummate in one day, but there is a possibility it can. Let me give you an example. The Nigerian market never expected an engineer claim would be that huge. But for the first time, we paid over $84 million. More, way above that, but estimated as claim. Whoever thought that the Nigerian market would expect such a thing? How much was the entire premium? So if you have 4 claims like that, what happens to your shareholders' fund? Will you take facility to pay claim? So I've always believed that the Nigerian industry needs to recapitalize. As I speak to you now, our private placement is ending the 31st of June. Our right issue, by the grace of God, was a bit successful. So it is something that needs to be done.
Okay, sir, I'm sorry to cut you in, but even in this same market, I get what you're saying. In this same market, you've heard some arguments that say, oh, insurance penetration is less than 1%. Even the current capital levels that they have, most of the insurance companies that declare profits every year, they are not, those profits are not underwriting profits. Profits are from investment. So why are you asking people to raise additional money? Are you asking them indirectly to go into other channels of investment rather than doing core insurance business?
I will ask you a simple question. I'm sorry I have to,
Yeah.
if people get married and their marriage goes sour Does that stop other people from marrying?
No.
Hell no. If recapitalization is not successful, it's not the same thing as government. That's a different thing altogether. The NICON itself has also come out with a policy to say no premium, no cover. That's part of legislation. But what I think the government, I have granted an interview before where I said that the government needs to improve on their data policies. The government also need to make deliberate plan for insurance companies to survive. The plan you are having for banking should also be done for insurance. Market penetration. You know, should be done. There should be a backup legislation. We come out with policies. In the general sphere of Nigerian economy, people do not say much about, we just make policies. The implementation has always been a problem to us as a people or as a country. So if these are done, and there's debit plan, say, look, if you do not have insurance policies, you don't have your cars on the road. If you don't have insurance policies, you don't have contract. If you don't have insurance policies in your house, the government will not give you utility. Are you sure people will not insure? They will. Now, it is compulsory in banks that if you don't have BM, you don't have bank account. Have everybody not complied? If you, in your normal GSM, mobile phone, if you do not recharge, do you make call?
No.
Insurance, there should be a lock that separates insurance from, that's a deliberate plan by government to say, look, if you do not have this, you will see the blossoms of insurance company. No, insurance company will not even complain about recapitalization.
Okay, so that's the...
But I agree with you that if we do not have, let me also tell you, I know the angle you're going to, that look, if you do not have much of this recapitalization...
So why are you asking people to raise additional capital?
Why capital flights? Why the policy, the risk we have in this country, how many of them are retained here?
That is also a failure of government implementation, because you have brought, government have said local content. Until you utilize your capacity locally, nothing goes out. But some of these businesses are still going out. It's not the making of insurance.
How many insurance companies, if those policies are in place, the insurance company, some of them will fold up. Let me tell you why. If the risk in this country, if Shell, for example, has a claim of $26 million, and we have to combine the capacity of our insurance shareholders fund in Nigeria, what percentage do you think it is? Looking at our evaluation, looking at the economy itself. So my argument is not whether it is popular. No. There's need to recapitalize. There's need for local content. But because we don't have much of retention, that is why the NICON itself are looking at it to say, look, there's need for us to recapitalize this company so that we can keep all in the house. Even if we have the local content, even the little one other companies are having, they are still reinsuring abroad.
Exactly. So that comes to another argument I've also heard. Insurance business is not you take and the winner takes all, so to speak. You take a percentage of a business from Shell, for example, or NNPC. Business policy demands that you reinsure part of that business.
What is the capacity? If you are going to reinsure, if you have 100% of a transaction, and you are insuring 70%, does that sound local content?
No,
it doesn't. When we are talking about reinsurance, we are talking about a little percentage above your, higher than your retention. So if you are taking 100% and what all you have is about 30% retention, that doesn't sound well as pure. I'm an economist. That's my first course of study. Is that trade favorable? No. The trade is favorable when you have more advantage, or when you benefit more and you lose less. When will the economy ever be right? It's another question. We are studying economics on the long run, on the long run, long average curve. When will it be short? The budget, Nigerian budget our last year, the same issues we were having our last year budget, the same issue that is. That's it. So are you telling me that next year budget will be better? You don't run the economy by soothsaying. Oh, one prophet has predicted the Nigerian economy will be better. For me, that is more of a magical and fairy tale statement. One, the insurance industry recapitalization. Two, the Nigerian industry, the economic sphere needs deliberate legislation to push insurance forward. 3, the Nigerian economy needs data. If I ask you, they'll say Nigerian mortality rate has dropped by 3%. From which statistics? From which experiment? From which studies?
Or they tell you your population is about.
My population is Nigeria will say Nigeria about 200. In a proper economic planning, how do you plan with assumption? You are doing your budget is an assumption. You are planning is an assumption. You are taking decision assumption. Even the spending itself an assumption. These are some of the things we are facing, not just for the insurance industry. But if you actually love this industry, I know it's not easy at the moment, not even for Anchor, not even for everyone to raise such amount of capital. That is the truth. But is it necessary? Capital, yes.
All right, welcome back. Moving on now, we bring you highlights of the 2019 Bullion Lecture. The annual lecture series of the CFJ was conceptualized as a platform for lively discourse on national and international issues. Happy viewing.
The Bullion Lecture is the annual lecture series of the Center for Financial Journalism, conceptualized as a platform for lively discourse on national and international issues. The 2019 edition was recently held at the Civic Center. The theme was leveraging the African Continental Free Trade Agreement for Nigeria's economic development. Guest speaker was Professor Benedict Orama, President, African Export-Import Bank, Cairo, Egypt. Welcoming guests to the lecture series, Dr. Oladimeji Alo, who's student for the chairman of the board of the Center for Financial Journalism.
Our target at the center is to extend these training programs to other regions of the African continent in the near future.
The chairman of the 2019 Bullion Lecture, Dr. Uche Olowu, said that trade is critical to unlocking the full potentials of the Nigerian economy. Delivering the theme of the lecture, Professor Benedict Orama.
The quickest means to promoting regional integration is to have an arrangement that constitutes the framework for breaking the structural barriers created by the colonial administrators.
Panelists at the lecture this year were Mr. Muda Yusuf, Director General, Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and Mr. Ade Adefeko, Vice President, Corporate and Government Relations, Olam, Nigeria. Sharing his thoughts during the panel discussion.
Our customs should ensure that they are for trade promotion, okay? Not talking strictly about revenue generation all the time. Very, very important. And I'm one of those who believe that for you to be competitive, you must have comparative advantage. Very, very important. You can only be competitive when you have comparative advantage. And that is very, very key and critical.
Given the high-level discussion at the lecture this year, some participants had questions for the guest speaker and panelists. The annual Bullion Lecture Series, many believe, is a welcome development as it brings people from all walks of life to discuss critical issues that affect the Nigerian economy.
And that is our time on the program this week. Many thanks for being a part of it. Do join us again next week for a fresh package. In the meantime, feel free as always to connect with us on all our social media platforms. Once again, my name is Maggie Osibo. Enjoy our parting shot this week, AY in its element at our 2018 Insurance Industry and Consumers Night. Bye-bye.
I like Davido. I know someone I like Davido. If you like Davido, yeah, raise your hand up here. Davido, yeah. I used to love that boy, but I don't like him again. Ali Baba called me, say, okay, make we go Davido Papa house. That family, be like they get something against me. Ali Baba called me, say, make we go Davido Papa house. I follow Ali Baba, I say, okay, may we go. In get event there. I wear my suit, wear bow tie, wear, our small waistcoat, everything, put everything on top. We drive, reach Davido Papa gate. As soon as Ali Baba enter there, within 517 Lexus, they open gate, he pass. Jimmy Jat come with Omar, they open the gate. Jimmy Jat enter. He reach my turn. I said, I drive better car now. I drive small better car. Even me and my G-Wagon, as I go, security say, Wind down, wind down, sir. The guy looked at me and said, Oga, please don't be upset. Oh. We were given an instruction that all drivers should park outside. For inside the same party.